Homelander finally does something so graphic in The Boys finale that even I think the show went too far, and I say that as someone who loved Herogasm. The episode starts with the boys grieving Frenchie's death, seen from the trailer, and trying to come up with a final plan to stop Homelander once and for all. They also have a backup plan in case Soldier Boy shows up because they still think he's unfrozen and will probably side with Homelander now. Then there's apparently a massive press conference at the White House where Homelander and Ashley publicly announce that he's basically the new God of America on live national television. Homelander says that Starlight and all unfaithful people will be purged and only true believers deserve to remain in the country. The reporters are obviously horrified and shocked. Homelander starts listening to their heartbeats and realizes none of them actually believe what he's saying. This is supposedly where he completely snaps for the first time in the episode. The leaker said this is apparently the scene Anthony Starr and the cast were talking about when they said Homelander does the worst thing he's ever done. As they foreshadowed when Angel Stillwell showed up, Homelander massacres everyone in the room live on TV. According to the leak, he skins people alive and even kills a pregnant reporter in an extremely graphic way, ripping babies out of their mom's womb. After that, even a lot of Homelander supporters become terrified of him instead of worshipping him. Some civilians try standing up to him but get lasered instantly, similar to the scene he imagined back in season 2. The US military gets involved and tries to stop him, but this is apparently one of the biggest VFX sequences in the entire show. The leaker said a huge part of the season's budget went into these scenes because Homelander basically destroys everything they throw at him. While all this is happening, the boys are hiding in a warehouse testing Kimiko's new powers. They successfully replicated Soldier Boy's powers but just kind of weaker. Ryan is apparently hiding in New Zealand at this point. He sees everything happening in America through social media and decides to fly back to the US to help stop Homelander. Homelander then goes to NYC and starts causing complete chaos. He also purges Ward Tower. Meanwhile, Stan Edgar manages to escape custody by manipulating the guards. Starlight goes to the Gen V kids and brings them with her for the final battle. There's also supposedly a scene where Homelander gathers loyal soups at the White House and orders them to help purge America from non-believers. Some stronger soups like the purple laser guy from Gen V and some weaker and stupid ones with powers. One detail the leaker mentioned is that O-Father becomes genuinely horrified by Homelander's actions because nobody will support the church anymore if he keeps openly massacring civilians. He tells Homelander this will destroy their profits and influence. Homelander asks him if he's loyal or if he's going to betray him like everyone else. Before he can answer properly, Homelander rips him in half. Ashley witnesses this and runs away because she realizes she's probably next. Homelander later goes to the boys' HQ looking for them, but only Terror is there. Terror apparently pisses on Homelander's boots, reminding him of Butcher. So Homelander lasers the dog in half. The boys eventually return to the HQ to grab the virus before heading to Washington and find Terror dead. According to the leak, this completely breaks Butcher mentally, and he goes full berserk mode, deciding he wants every super dead no matter what after softening a bit in early episodes. The leaker specifically mentioned the scene is both disgusting and genuinely sad, and that viewers will apparently feel Butcher's rage through the screen. Ryan arrives shortly after, sees what happened to Terror, and fully sides with the boys. The boys, Ryan, and the Gen V characters eventually make their way into the White House while fighting through Homelander loyalist soups. Huey carries the virus. Everyone saw the video of what the Deep did and they turn their backs on him. Starlight kills the Deep. The final fight happens inside the Oval Office. According to the leak, Ryan, Butcher, Starlight, Marie, Kimiko, and the others all fight Homelander together, but he's powered up by V1 and he overpowers all of them. Eventually, Marie uses her blood powers together with Butcher's tentacles while Ryan restrains one arm and Starlight blinds him long enough for Huey to infect him with the virus. The virus weakens Homelander temporarily, similar to what happened with Soldier Boy earlier in the series. Kimiko then charges up and releases a massive blast that hits everyone inside the Oval Office. After the explosion, Homelander is supposedly depowered and terrified for the first time in the show. Almost everyone is unconscious except Butcher and Homelander. Homelander cries. The leak says the final fight is literally just the two of them beating each other as normal humans. Butcher eventually overpowers and beats him and kills Homelander with the crowbar. After everyone wakes up, Ryan and Marie are apparently the only soups left with powers. More soups arrive at the Oval Office after Homelander dies, but Ryan lasers them before they can attack. The ending montage is apparently quieter and more emotional. Butcher escapes and lives alone around peacefully in Hawaii. The boys visit him sometimes and Ryan occasionally visits too. Huey and Starlight move to Mexico. Reunites with his family. Vought completely collapses and Vought Tower is destroyed, but Stan Edgar still has enough connections to quietly rebuild influence in the background. Ashley finally leaves everything behind and escapes to France, which apparently references what A-Train told her back in season 4. Kimiko and Ryan become closer after everything that happened, and apparently there is a post-credit scene with Soldier Boy. Now, here's my honest take that I think will really trigger people in the comments. This leak sounds like an absolute masterpiece on paper, but I also think it crosses a line that might actually hurt the show. Killing a pregnant woman in that way and then killing a dog, that's not just dark humor anymore, that's torture porn. And I say this as someone who loved the gore in Herogasm. The difference is Herogasm was ridiculous. This sounds genuinely mean-spirited. However, I also have to admit that Homelander dying as a human, crying and getting beaten to death with a crowbar by a normal guy, that is poetic justice. That is the only way he should ever die. No big explosion, no dramatic sacrifice, just a man with a metal bar. So here's my question to you, and I want you to absolutely flood the comments. Is Butcher justified in wanting to kill every soup after Terror dies, or has he become just as bad as Homelander? And more importantly, does the show go too far with the pregnant reporter scene, or is that exactly what Homelander would do? Let me know what you think. Honestly, I'm torn, but one thing is for sure, if this leak is real, nobody is going to be ready for it. The pregnant reporter scene isn't dark satire, it's just gross shock value for no reason. And killing the dog, that's when I knew the writers care more about hurting you than telling a good story. Let me know what you think in the comments,